Assalamu alaikum students. Today we'll start off with the second chapter of grade 9, that is Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai. This is the second chapter in your book, and today we'll continue and do all the exercise and question answers of this chapter. But before begin with this chapter, I would like to tell you that who is Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai. I wanted to introduce him. He is basically a Sindhi poet, famous Sindhi poet. He is one of the renowned figures, and he's known internationally as well. Once we read this chapter, you figure it out that how he became so famous. So in order to figure it out, let's begin with the reading of this chapter. Okay, this chapter you will see in the book, it's divided into seven aspects. They have talked about the 7 aspects of his life. And to gather the information about this person, it was very difficult for them, but somehow they have managed to ask from the fathers and grandfathers of the people who were living there at Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai's place. And they have gathered all the information regarding it, and they have compiled all the stuff and given you the 7 aspects of his life. We'll go one by one, and you'll figure it out that how he spent his life and what learnings he has given, what learning did he do, and what did he taught to the people of the country, or to the people in general. So let's begin with the reading. Okay, Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai, who is lovingly called Lal Latif by his devotees. We'll do the difficult words in the next video, so we'll just copy down few words from here. He was known as Lal Latif by his devotees, and was noted as Sindhi Sufi scholar, mystic, saint, and poet. He's considered as the greatest Muslim poet of Sindhi language. So basically, his area of expertise was that he wrote all the poems and all the things in Sindhi language. Information about the life of Bhittai has been mostly collected from the oral tradition. Okay, there is no written stuff available for him. There was nothing in writing, but yes, they have gathered all the information by asking some questions to the people who were living there from their fathers, forefathers that lived there in his area. So they gathered all the information, and all the information are all in oral tradition. A renowned Pakistani scholar, education and writer of the play, dramas and stories, Mirza Khalid Beg is said to have collected the details about the early life of Shah Bhittai. Okay, he was the person, Mirza. We'll jot down all the important points from this text. So he was the person who gathered all the information regarding this person, is said to have collected details about the early life of Shah Bhittai from some of the old people living at that time, and these people had heard these facts from their fathers and grandfathers, some of whom had seen Shah Latif in person and had even spoken to him. So the sources were, basically what were the sources? People living there, and then from the fathers and grandfathers, he meant to say the forefathers, what they have heard from them, these people what they have heard from their fathers and forefathers, and some few of the person who have actually met Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai and have spoken to him. As a Sufi poet, Latif is held at his shrine every year on 14th Safar, the second month of the Muslim calendar. Urs is on 14th Safar. Okay, thousands of people gather and listen to the same song sung on the tamburo. Many learned men read papers that tell about Latif's life and his poetry. Some of the key aspects shared by the different scholars about Lal Latif are given below. Now, there are total 7 aspects, so we'll start off with the background and his family. That's the first aspect. Background and his family. Okay, Shah Latif's ancestral roots lay in Afghanistan. Okay, according to the information that they have gathered, it says that his ancestors were from Afghanistan. Okay, some historians say that the Shah's father, Sayyid Habib Shah, migrated from Mataru, his ancestral home in Afghanistan, to Bahanpur in Sindh in order to gain spiritual contact with a local person. His name was Bilawal. So, Sayyid Habib Shah was the name of his father, and it is believed that he came from that is in Afghanistan. And he came in order to meet a local person who was a spiritual person. His name was Bilawal. Okay. Others say that his ancestors migrated to Sindh from Herat or Herat. This is also in Afghanistan. It can either be written Hirat or it's Herat. Both the spellings are correct. Sindh was then a center of Muslim culture, and Shah Latif's ancestors liked it so much that they decided to settle in Sindh. So this is how we can define, or we can figure it out, his background and his family. His father's name was Sayyid Habib Shah, and it is believed that he came from, obviously he was from Afghanistan, but from which city, nobody is clear about that, so they have mentioned the two cities over there. And he came, when he heard a local, he wanted to have some spiritual connection with this person. He was a local person there, Bilawal, and they liked it so much that they decided to settle in the Sindh. The next aspect that they have talked about is how did he got the name Bhitai. That is the aspect number 2. So in 1972, Shah Latif left his home and went to live on a mound of at some distance from his village. A mound of sand is called Bhit, or that is Bhit in Sindhi. Due to the fact that they lived on the mound for the rest of his life, Shah Latif came to be known as Saint of Bhit. To this day, he is famous all over the world as Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai or Shah Latif Bhitai of the mound. So this is also a difficult word. We'll note it down over here. So how did he go? He left his home and he spent the rest of his life on a mount that was near his home, left his home, and he spent the rest of his life on a mount. And what do you call mount in Sindhi? You call it Bhit in Sindhi. And this is how he got the name Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai. Now moving on to the third aspect, that is his early life and education. This is the most important aspect. You will get a lot of questions from this also. From this. Okay, Shah Bhitai was born in 1689 AD, 14th Safar 1102 AH in a small village called Hala Haveli, a few miles to go to the east of the present town of Bhit. Latif was raised during the golden age of Sindhi culture, and his first teacher was Akhund Noor Muhammad Bhitai, but mainly he was self-educated. So he got his education from his first teacher Akhund, that is Noor Muhammad. But basically he was fond of reading and observing things around, so he was called that he was actually self-educated, because he was keen for he had this keen of learning. So he found, or he figured out, or he read different books in order to get the latest knowledge or the information that was there. He did not only rely on his teacher, but it was his own efforts as well. Although he received little formal education, the Risala provides proof that he knew Arabic and Persian quite well. Various references in Sharjah Risala indicate that he had in-depth knowledge of the Holy Quran and the Hadith. His poetic collection, indeed the Masnavi of Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi and Shah Karim's poem. So this self-educated part showed that he was keen for learning. He had this keen of learning. So he read about Jalaluddin Rumi, and he have the complete knowledge of Holy Quran and Hadith. So now you can figure it out that what kind of writing would he have produced at that time. And now even today in this era, his writings and his poems are serving with a great deed, and they are giving the excellent message to the youth as well.